Good afternoon, everybody. David Atkins, target individual. So today I'm going to talk about key insights in the mind control system. This is from Ronnie Kield's Black Shadows and some kind of, I forgot the name of the book. Dark Shadows and Bright Lights and Black Shadows or something like that. There's a book. Anyway, I really didn't feel like doing this video, but I've been trying to do an interview the last 3 days, and every time it gets messed up. So I'm going to try to do the interview today. And if you see this video um, today, then you haven't seen the interview that I've been trying to do for 3 days. It keeps getting hacked. Yesterday, they kept repeating everything we said through the computer back to us through the computers and messing it up. The day before his battery died. So man, it's just been terrible trying to get this interview done. But I think it's a good interview. So if you've not seen this interview yet, then it's coming. Um, Other than that, been getting hit pretty hard. V2K vibrations, tortured, same thing. Sleep when I go to sleep or close my eyes. Um, Shocks, vibrations. I really didn't even feel like doing this today, but I haven't done a video in a while, so I'm going to do it. From Robert Ness in 2013, when the state rapes, the term associated with conspiracy theories has in fact been a 50-year-old ongoing technical political project. It was with the development of the first supercomputers, a system for controlling the mind, brain, and behavior was established. In 1948, Norbert Wiener published a book, Cybernetics, defined as neurological communication and control theory, already in use in small circles at the time. Yanji Masada, father of Information Society, stated his concern in 1980 that our liberty is threatened Orwellian style by cybernetic technology totally unknown to most people. This technology links the brain of people via implanted microchips or non-implants to satellite controlled by ground-based supercomputers. Today's super technology connecting our brain function or without, according to the latest technology, microchips to computers via satellites in U.S. or Israel pose the greatest threat to humanity. The latest supercomputers are powerful enough to monitor the whole world's population. Are we ready for the robotization of the mankind, total elimination of privacy, including freedom of thought? It's already here. Covert neurological communication systems are in place to counteract independent thinking and control society and political activity on behalf of self-serving and private military interests. When our brain functions are already connected to supercomputers by means of radio implants and microchips, it will be too late for protest. Cybernetics, the fear neurological control and communication, has been in use since the 40s without any knowledge of the general public. The objective, behavior modification, and influence bodily and mentally functions, processes, and emotions remotely through computer satellite links have been successful. The purpose of MK is taking over your mind, brain, and body. It is to disrupt memory, discredit people through aberrant behavior, alter your sex patterns, or elicit information. The goal of MK is to program an individual, you, me, anybody, to carry out any mission of espionage or assassination against your will to control the absolute behavior and thought patterns of the individual. The guise of national security is used as an excuse for illegal activities to cover up manipulations of the opinions of target individuals. It's done with electromagnetic fields, various drugs, and sprays. Psychological warfare includes 24/7, 365 days, both physically with the use of electric means. Objectives of neuroelectric communications are behavior manipulation, influence, and body functions and emotions remotely through satellite and data computers. Astronauts and cosmonauts were always and are implanted with microchips so every body functions, thought, dream could be seen on Earth. Computer screens. The computer and satellite steered microchip populations are cyborgs. No more free beings with their own thoughts and emotions and attitudes. And like I said, they don't need microchips either. We're living in an era where everything's controlled by the elite intelligence agencies, and those opposing their tyranny are eliminated with mind control. Patsies, false flag suicides, accidents, or induced illnesses. A CIA agent told me that they can kill from a distance, making your heart stop beating or radiate you to death from satellites to create cancer. And that's Ronnie Kield who said that. The human race today lives in the worst dark age. Knowledge is suppressed from the masses by a small ruling elite to be able to stay in power and control. They're even trying to play God by governing weather, controlling masses of behavior of masses, controlling our feelings, thinking, and behavior with super technology from satellites and supercomputers steering the world today. Of course, it sounds like science fiction to uninformed scientists and general public. They can manipulate human emotions, change one's sexual behavior, break marriages, destroy friendships and family ties. They can erase your memory with EDM, electronic dissolution of memory, and they can induce false memories with RHIC, radio hypnotic intracerebral control. All is done with specific electromagnetic frequencies with super technologies. Patents exist, altering moods and stimulating our brainwaves to certain rhythms from satellites exist. How do you fight surveillance? You cannot. Their aim is total control, isolation, breaking the target individual support system, and to control the whole world population through brain satellite links to computers. They are far advanced technologies that use hidden from mediocre academics and population. Mass remote mind control by blanket coverage of the population is achieved via the phone mobile network. They use different frequencies for different results. For example, 15 hertz is used in the auditory cortex, that is the sound that bypasses your ears. You don't need ears to hear. 25 hertz is used against the visual cortex images for brain without your eyes. With 20 hertz directed at your thought center, it imposes subconscious thoughts which you think are your own. The aim is to get the whole population for total control. The first implants were surgically inserted in 1874 in the state of Ohio, USA, and also in Stockholm, Sweden. Brain electrodes were inserted into the skulls of babies in 1946 in Stockholm without the knowledge of their parents. In the 50s and 60s, electrical implants were inserted into the brains of animals and humans, especially during the research modification of brain and body functions. Mind control methods were used in attempts to change human behavior and attitudes. Influencing brain functions became an important goal of military and intelligence services. 30 years ago, brain implants showed up in x-rays the size of 1 centimeter. Subsequent implants shrunk to the size of a grain of rice. They were made of silicone, later of gallium arsenide. Today, they are small enough to be inserted into the neck or back, also intravenously in different parts of the body during surgical operations with or without the consent of the subjects. Implanted human beings can be followed anywhere. Their brain functions can be remotely monitored by supercomputers, even altering changing frequencies. Guinea pigs and secret experiments, including prisoners, soldiers, mental patients, handicapped children, deaf, blind people, single women, the elderly, school children, and any group of people considered marginal by the elite experimenters. Today's chips operate by low frequency waves that target them, and they don't need chips. With the help of satellites, the person can be tracked anywhere or tortured anywhere. The U.S. national security 200 billion bits seconds and supercomputers can now see and hear what soldiers experience in the battlefield with remote neural monitoring systems. With a 5 millimeter microchip, the dye is placed into the optical nerve of the eye. It draws neural impulses from the brain that embodies the experience, smells, sights, voices of the implanted person. Once transferred, stored in the computer, these impulses can be projected back to the person's brain via the chip to be re-experienced. And like I said, they don't need that no more. Using RMS, a land-based computer operator can send electronic messages encoded as signals to the nervous system, affecting the target's performance. With RMLs, healthy persons can be induced to see hallucinations and hear voices in their head. Every thought, reaction, and hearing and visual observation can cause a neurological potential spike in patterns in the brains and its electromagnetic fields, which are now being decoded into thoughts, pictures, and voices. Electromagnetic stimulation can therefore change a person's brain waves and affect muscular activity, causing painful muscular cramps and experiences torture. The NSA's electronic surveillance system can simultaneously follow and handle millions of people. Each of us has unique bioelectrical resonance frequency in the brain, just like we have unique fingerprints. With electromagnetic frequency brain stimulation, fully coded pulsating electromagnetic signals can be sent to the brain, causing the desired voice and visual effects to be experienced by the target. This is a form of electronic warfare. They're also called smart dusts, which are tiny wireless microelectrical sensors that can detect anything from light to vibration. Each contain computing circuits, sensors, bidirectional wires, communication technology, and power supply. President Obama's new health law requires every American to have one of them chips. I'm glad it didn't pass. Okay, signals intelligence. Through signals and subconscious thinking can be read dreams, can be affected, induced, all without the knowledge, consent of the implanted person or non-implanted person. A perfect uber super soldier can be created. This secret technology has been used by military forces in NATO countries since the 1980s without civilian and academic populations having heard anything about it. Signal intelligence can remotely monitor information from human brain decoded by evoked potentials emitted by the brain. Silent wars being conducted on unknowing willingness and soldiers by military intelligence agencies. Since 1980, electronic stimulation of the brain has been secretly used to control people without their knowledge. All governments in the Western world would deny the existence of MK technologies, but they cause cancer, Alzheimer's disease, tumors, strokes, heart attacks, and other illnesses. Examples of use: mind-controlled shooters, bird fish dials, target individuals. The goal of mind controls today is to induce the targeted persons or group to act against his or own her's convictions, best interests. Zombified individuals can be programmed to murder and remember nothing of the crime afterwards. Alarming examples of this phenomenon can be found in the U.S. and elsewhere. If we think of the future of our children, this technology has to be stopped somewhere. Otherwise, generations 100% biological robots listening to the orders of computers. Number one, shooters. We've been very surprised to hear reports in different countries about these school shootings and shopping center shootings by lonesome men. How many have realized that these are tests where mind control programs used to create the human robot? By beaming the frequency of hate for months and years on a chosen young man, also violent videos, data games, DVDs, and hypnosis used for programming. It was used also by military to get adrenaline flowing in soldiers before combat. The serial killer is a victim himself, being programmed to be an emotionless robot, following orders to kill. The real killer sit behind a computer, sending him electromagnetic beams straight to his brain. No wonder Eisenhower warned off the military-industrial complex and their methods a long time ago. This technology is not new, but they are new in secrecy by military and secret services without any public knowledge. The reason in the individual cases is always political, to change laws, or sometimes revenge. War. I saw a film once of the first Iraqi war demonstrating that microchips are not even needed to give orders directly to the brain. Soldiers were sitting in bunkers with food and water to last a long time. A U.S. plane was flying among the bunker with Arabic speaking interpreters who gave orders via electromagnetic beams for them to surrender. Their mind control succeeded. They all came out of the bunkers with their hands up. There was no one there to meet them. The U.S. plane was gone. Further, later on, an Iraqi colonel came out with his hands up to surrender, and there was no one to surrender to. Only a helicopter, which had not landed, had flown by. It was war experimentation with voice-to-skull technology called synthetic telepathy to total control one's behavior. Bird and fish deaths. What about the incredible bird and fish deaths in tens of thousands in several countries from Sweden to New Zealand about a year ago? The insides of the birds dying in flight, dropping dead, had melted. Clearly, military exercise with electromagnetic fields again. It is HARP-type technology. What happens to the humans if this same technology is used for depopulation programs? The testing and deployment of these technologies by government contracted businesses on non-consenting civilians and military personnel is what it's all about. U.S. Air Force report from 1996, information operation and neural warfighting capability. Hacking the brain to perform two functions. First, it links its individual to the human computer system, creating a seamless interface between the user and information resources. In essence, your brain relays the processed information from the HC to the user. And then the second, it generates a computer generation mental visualization based on the user's request. One of the reasons the technology remains a state secret is wide press prestige of the Psychiatric Diagnostic and Statistic Manual. The Psychiatric Bible covers up the secret development of MC technologies, mind control, by labeling some of them affect symptoms of paranoid schizophrenic. Victims in mind control experimenting thus routinely diagnosed knee-jerk fashion as mentally ill by doctors who learned the DSM symptoms listed in medical school. Physicians have not been schooled that patients may be telling the truth when they report being targeted against their will, being used as guinea pigs for electronic, chemical, and bacterial forms of psychological warfare. Time is running out, and I think time has done around now for changing the direction and ensuring the future of human freedom. Recruiting the street perps. Intelligence agencies infiltrate everything from left and right, from women's organizations to groups to cults. They use terrorism, Satanism, sabotage, disinformation, and media outlets. They recruit the field workers, old pensioners, invalids, handicaps, wheelchair patients, teenagers, housewives, etc., for neighborhood espionage. No one suspects them till it's too late. Jobless workers, outpatients from mental hospitals, released prisoners, motorcycle gangs, immigrants, non-white races are recruited. They become soldiers for the organization. For their sabotage, threats, theft, psychological terror, they get promotions and points. Victims, relatives, acquaintances, and friends will be recruited to cooperate with intelligence services. This happens with the help of pressure and is generally not difficult. Intelligence agencies also use activities or counterintelligence activities against the person, which is the target, that lasts throughout his whole life. They also target groups are also used for military research, research in chemistry, rocket technology, computers, medical research, and especially cancer research. Recruiting scientists goes the same way as the others. Material which is received this way is bought with money. There are also ideological reasons, and also pressure can be used. Pressure can happen with infidelity, hidden homosexuality, or with bribes who have been given. Threats against family and relatives make many bow down. Intelligence services infiltrate also culture, life, journalists, authors. Meaning is to recruit persons who work also in other countries, persons who are there to form opinions. Therefore, a culture sector is so important it can help with conquering the world. It has been claimed that the big film festivals are under control of intelligence networks. Today, even jazz festival and pop music festivals are in this group. We're living in an era where everything's controlled by elite intelligence agents. Those opposing the tyranny are eliminated with mind control and microchip patsies or false flight suicide accidents or induced illnesses. And the ultimate goal of the technology is to get rid of 2/3 of the world population with electromagnetic warfare, chemical warfare, and psychological warfare. They aim to get the whole world population for total control, which I think we're already under. I thank you for listening today. I hope y'all like that. It was just something I put together real quickly because like I said, I really haven't felt like doing videos. When people message me and stuff, there's days if I don't get right back with you, there's days I don't want to talk. I'm getting tortured. I try to stay positive and I try to keep a positive attitude, but there's days, I'm like, man, I don't, somebody had messaged me wanting to know my stories, what happened in Colorado, to take it to some report. I still haven't answered them yet. I don't want to rehash that, but I'm going to rehash it. But it was traumatizing, you know what I'm saying? So if I don't get right back with you when you message, please don't feel offended. There's days I just don't feel like talking. I don't feel like talking to nobody. I'm being tortured. My life is destroyed. So there's days I don't want to talk to nobody. Anyway, thank y'all and God bless. And I hope y'all got something out of this. God bless all to you guys.